Sorry for that false alarm, ladies and gentlemen. Turns out I am not alone. So for bandwidth considerations, I'll be recording this one. Um, I think my role, perhaps in it all, is questioning all of the so-called advanced communities, the uh, the cutting edge of the spiritual people. I'm the guy that is always testing and making sure that the X-Men are really X-Men, right? So one of the things I really like about Jason's research or Archaix's research is the informed field, because it's very correct. Beauty is beheld in the eye of the perceiver, right? Your beliefs, your perceptions will literally morph reality. But here is where I wish to challenge, and in doing so, I wish to strengthen the understanding and also the, how do you say, the consistency and the coherency of the message of the informed field. That really, I think beauty is when I'm not trying to perceive anything at all. When I'm not trying to skew or twist what I see at all. Now, this is my only issue with people in trying to positively manifest things, because essentially you're skewing your reality, right? You're concentrating, you're focusing, you're straining, you're putting so much effort into trying to get something, and perhaps you'll get it, perhaps not. That's beside the point. But the point is, it seems that you're going out of your way and mechanically, robotically, and somewhat violently, with persuasion and propaganda, trying to make something happen that wouldn't happen without your forcing. So in this sense, I wish to challenge this idea of the informed field. I wish to challenge this and say, perhaps true perception is not trying to perceive anything at all, is not trying to inform yourself of anything at all. I came across Archaix's knowledge not because of because of an informed free field. Rather, I had to disarm my previous informed fields in order to receive new information, right? So in this sense, perhaps it's not about informing your field, but disarming it. Perhaps perception is not about trying to perceive certain things, but in not trying to perceive anything, you see what is in front of you. So this is exactly what I'm getting into, is that thought, which is the informed field, your beliefs will be a foundation to how your reality plays out. But I am now coming to say, what if the cleanest, the safest, the most sturdy foundation is to have no belief at all? And from not having any belief at all, yes, my form will be in field by what I need to do, naturally. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying we should get rid of thought. I'm not saying we should kill the concept. I'm not saying we should completely condemn and repress informing ourselves. But I'm saying perhaps when we, in humility, because in humility, you don't really need to know anything. Humility is more of a quality of being able to be proven wrong, right? So in this sense, perhaps it's not about an informed field at all. Perhaps when I can clear my field and start with this strong foundation of no bias, no subjectivity, no prior thoughts, no premeditation, right? No extra conceptualization, the right concept will come in. I will have informed my field adequately, right? And it won't be fear-based, as Archaix likes to point out, that I think a lot of the informing one's field is coming from fear. And so I wonder to what extent this informing the field can become counterproductive. That I think the greater problem, the greater issue, is to tear down all of the false informed fields, all of the false illusions and concepts and thoughts that people are living in and drowning in, to be frank. Which brings me to the question, does believing a lie make it true? Now, perhaps a person who is so caught up in manifesting a lie actually does make it true. And that illusion then becomes that person's reality. However, it is still an illusion. So, and again, this is all out of love. This is all out of challenging and a dialogue, right? Because I could be wrong. Someone please come in and prove me wrong. But I also would like to challenge food and anatomy, right? Because it doesn't really matter what I believe I am versus what I am, right? So it doesn't matter if I believe I have canines, if I believe I have the ability to digest, let's just go to meat, for example, my body is still a primate. So I think Jason once said that sometimes, bringing something into your reality is helped by a physical medicine. So for instance, Jason was going into the fact that, healing is really psychological, but some indigenous practices that bring in this physical ceremony and the physical medicine can help the psychological healing. Because really what's underlying there is that the physical and the psychological and the metaphysical are linked. Really, they're the same thing besides our gross interpretations of them. So it doesn't matter if I believe something that is unhealthy is healthy or won't affect me, it is still unhealthy. That if I inform myself that an unhealthy act, like for instance, drinking Red Bull, I'm talking about some other influencers out there, whatever it is, just because I believe something is not going to affect me, doesn't mean that it is not inconsistent with the body. Again, just because I believe a lie so much that is true, that I think it is true, doesn't make it true. So if we return to anatomy real quick, again, we are primates, and primates are frugivores unless they don't have food around them, unless they have to go experiment, right? Outside of very extreme conditions, right? Primates, when they have fruit, they will go to them. So in this sense, it doesn't matter if I believe my anatomical structure is a dog, I'm still much more closer to a primate, to a frugivore. So at what point do our beliefs get in the way? So perhaps it's much more facilitates and much more simple for us to go about examining all of our information and having the capacity, having the humility, being humble enough to clear it out, to have a reset, to have a psychological cataclysm, to start over. Because I think the ability to start over is the ability to surrender to all the previous concepts that I have built up till now. And so this is why I challenge the informed field, that to inform myself completely and adequately, first, I must be penitent enough to drop everything that I am informed of. When I examine the facts of a court case, I don't look at some other court case. I mean, to an extent, there is precedents, precedents, and all this kind of stuff. But to examine the facts of the current court case, I have to have a level of clarity, which is to be clear, which is to clear out and build a new foundation, a clean slate from all the other information that I have built up till now. Because to an extent, the previous information can actually block me, or can actually, how do you say, damage my capacity to act and see what is now. And so this is why, again, I still look at Archaix as creatures of the past, right? But I'm not attached to it. Right? It's these kinds of things that we can have the knowledge, but let's not let that knowledge tear us down. Let's not be so adamant about what our field is informed by that we have no leeway to improve. So I think the most dangerous thing, and I don't know, I'm not saying anyone's saying this, but the most dangerous thing is to say, my field is already informed. So perhaps it's a matter of disarming perception rather than arming it. Rather than using perception as a weapon, right? We lay down the arms. We lay down the weapons. And what I mean by that, again, is we lay down our previous conclusions of what we're going to be informed of now. So there is my challenge to that. Give me 1 second here. And so one of my favorite phrases, right? Break free or die trying. Perhaps when you die to your previous beliefs, you will have already broken free. That I honestly think the only thing that is remotely close to a prison is my previous beliefs. Because again, these beliefs, these informed fields, are the common denominator to all fear. Fear is entirely of the past or the future. Something's going to happen or something has happened, right? So really, the attachment to a belief means I won't die, or I don't have a willingness to die. I don't have a willingness to break free or die trying. So again, to reiterate, perhaps when I have a clean slate, a chance to build a strong foundation with a clean base, right? With no brittle structure already there, no brittle beliefs already there. Perhaps when I clear all of my beliefs, and that's learning, right? I'm willing to learn now, I will have broken free. Now, I'm not telling you that I have broken free. I'm just saying that perhaps perception right now, right? True perception is breaking free by dying to previous beliefs. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I've done it. I'm not saying I know anyone that does it. I'm not saying any of these things. I'm not saying I'm not doing it. I'm just saying see free of the concepts of even an informed field. Just see, right? Don't try to use information as a weapon. But if the information comes, don't repress it or reject it or suppress it, right? Be free from the information is what I'm telling you. Because at some point, information or knowledge becomes a double-edged sword, right? Pain only exists in knowledge, folks. How can pain, exist without knowledge, or exist without an experience, or exist without a chance of being right and wrong? And that's why I'm saying there's no pain in humility. There's no pain in disarming, informed fields, concepts, beliefs, thoughts that are fallacy. There's no pain in that, right? The pain comes when I am attached to a belief and I'm not willing to die to it. So degeneration is an informed field gone amok, run amok. So then I can do things that are not aligned with my anatomy. Right? I can do things that are not aligned to my genetic predisposition. Because again, I believe that what is unnatural is fine. So perhaps through my thought, I make it natural. No. What is natural is irregardless of your thought. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? Living healthy, right? Just because you think you're healthy doesn't mean you are healthy. That's a huge caveat that we need to be clear on, right? That it gives me more responsibility. The fact that my beliefs can be weaponized, it gives me even more responsibility to see, again, I don't have any claws, I don't have canine, I don't have a short intestines, I don't have these things. that make me unable to digest certain things, nor can I digest fake sugar. That's why people get fat. That's why people get unhealthy. That's why people get sick. It doesn't matter that I believe that an energy drink or some form of alcohol is not going to hurt me. It's still hurting me. Again, just because we believe a lie is true doesn't make it true. Just because people are living illusions as their reality doesn't make it true. It's still an illusion. Yes, the illusion is a reality. We can go there. We can say that. But again, I think freedom is the ability to see all illusion. Because how would you be enslaved? How would you not be free if you could see through all the beliefs, all the worldly concepts, all the worldly thoughts? If I could see through all of them, how would I be enslaved? Again, enslavement or psychological dependence or authority only exists where there is fear. And I mean false authority, inorganic authority, right? Only exists with where there is fear. And fear is a belief. Fear is an informed field. Maybe an informed field gone wrong, sure. But again, the only place where, deception and therefore slavery can exist is fear, is a concept, is my ideas of what an informed field and what is an informed field and what is not. So give yourself the grace to question all of your beliefs, even that which of an informed field, right? Is it really true that if I believe something is unhealthy, that it will make it unhealthy or make it healthy? Is it true that if I, really manifest my Red Bull, right? If I really manifest my energy drink or my alcohol or my meat, if I really think about it being healthy, will it be healthy? Or am I deluding myself in this very informed field fashion? So again, I'm not poking just at Jason here. I'm poking at everyone, all advanced spiritual seekers, all of this kind of stuff. Is at one point our own so-called spiritual beliefs getting in our own way? And at what point do we just clear it all out, spiritual or not spiritual, just clear it all out? And again, humility, common sense. I don't need to know what is natural. You see what I'm saying? I just inherently, intuitively, right, with instinct, know. And all of the so-called conditioned, informed fields is what causes me to be unnatural. So I want you to consider that. Let's see if I have anything more. So yeah, I'll kind of reiterate that. I did touch on it, but again, I think the art of perception is not trying to perceive something at all. So in not trying to inform my field of any fashion, naturally it just informs me. Naturally, the information I must see and the information that must be exposed to me comes. The unnaturally seeking of the information or a certain expectation or a certain outcome is deception, is illusion, is fear, false evidence appearing real. So all we have to do really to see is nothing. If you're trying to do something to see clearly, that's not clarity, that's a bias. So really the art of perception is not trying to see something at all. And in not trying to see something at all, which is the blindness, I will see. And no one can tell you how to see. That's the other thing. I can explain it to you, but you have to see. I can't make you see. The magic, the seeing, is self-initiated. So it's these kinds of things. And so really, I'll end with this. To be able to see something without conforming or denying at all. To be able to just see without choice. I don't have a choice, I just have to see. If I accept something or deny something, that blinds me from seeing. So the moment I have the patience to just see, Again, without needing to see something that I accept or that I deny, without needing to suppress or to exaggerate or to emphasize, and I just see, free from acceptance or denial, free from conclusion, free from thought, free from belief, right? Free from all these poor foundations, I will see clearly. So again, this is a message of love, and I'm challenging everyone. I'm challenging everyone's beliefs, right? Because if we're able to challenge and face the inconsistency of our beliefs, we will have broken free. So again, great saying, break free or die trying. But honestly, I think the only thing we would ever need to break free from is our own beliefs. I love you guys.